Oh man. Make sure your audio
What's
on.
up, Emo?
What's good, coach? What's up? What's up? What's
Got,
up?
got blessed with the big fella yesterday.
Yeah?
That's good. I actually got to write that down. So you forget. I'm doing my bills right now for the month.
Gotcha.
Yeah, take care.
Yes, sir. How's
So what are we
everything
doing?
going, man?
Doing good, fam. Doing good.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Kind of give a brief introduction. This is Coach Jai Steadman at University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Um, I can tell you, we have stories, man. It's like family for real. He actually believed in me at Tyler Junior College, a little chubby fat boy. So we're gonna give him the mic, give him the floor, man. Kind of tell us background about our story and where we met.
Well, it's an honor and a privilege. I started my coaching career Tyler Junior College back in the late 90s. Wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to go in, but I always wanted to recruit and coach. And a lot of people, just like they want to get to the NBA, they don't understand there's a path that you have to go to. And so my former coach in Nebraska, I was a student manager. He told me I needed to go to junior college. And I was like, I don't know, JUCO. You hear horror stories about it. I actually played a year of junior college basketball, and which was a good experience for me, but I didn't want to coach junior college. But it was the best thing I ever did. God put me there for a reason. I got to coach tremendous young players like yourself. We had a lot of talent. I learned under Chris Crutchfield and Mike Marquis how to recruit, how to coach, how to manage a lot of things, and blessed to be with so many wonderful people. And somebody like yourself, I remember when you first came to the gym, um, I thought you're a football player. You're a big dude. And you said you want to play basketball. And obviously your parents are awesome. Your family was awesome. And local John Tyler, player with a lot of accolades. And you said you want to play basketball. And I watched you play. And I was like, man, this dude gets in basketball shape and learns from us. He can really do good. And Bobby, I'm going to tell you something. The thing that you did that made me most impressive out of all the guys, and we sent a lot of guys Division I, you chose a university where you're going to play right away. A lot of these kids get enamored with Duke and Kentucky and Baylor and Texas, and that's fine. But how many of those guys really ever play? If you're a top blue chip athlete, that's fine. I'm not saying that. I'm obviously at University of Texas Rio Grande Valley now. I've kind of been at the mid-major, low major my whole career, and a lot of kids don't understand that. But the kids that have come and played for us have graduated, chance to go to the NCAA tournament, play, and then play professionally somewhere. Might be the G League, it might be Europe, but at least they continue playing. Where you see 700, 800 transfers every year because all these kids get tricked, as my current boss says. They get tricked into choosing a school just because of the name, it's not the best fit. So I applaud you. I mean, 20-something years later, I applaud you for picking Austin Peay, having a great career, playing, and then continue doing what you're doing now. So truly blessed to have coached you and now consider you one of my friends and continue our relationship. And I say this to everybody else. I still talk to this morning the players I played with in junior college, and I still talk to the coaches, the players I coached at Tyler Junior College more than the 5D1s I've been at and been in the G League, and I've been a head coach in Europe. I talk to you guys more than I talk to anybody else. So it's a testament to what junior college basketball can do to so many young men, football and basketball, that should choose that route if they don't get a D2 or D1 scholarship.
Oh yeah, I mean I agree, Coach. The interesting thing, man, I appreciate it. Um, and I tell people, transparently speaking, I actually should have redshirted my freshman year. I made my mistake, and I actually was working with consulting with a client I had now, the coach that she's going JUCO, and I said, hey, go JUCO. There's nothing wrong with JUCO because my relationships with the players at JUCO are actually more richer than at D1. Now I do have good relationships, but it was something about Tyler Junior College and that whole experience, man. I think that's people should not. I think this the Last Dance is a great opportunity to see that Scottie Pippen didn't go D1. He went to the
Oh,
NBA.
Dennis Rodman, a lot of them, they don't understand that sometimes smaller is better.
Yep. So yeah, coach, can you kind of go into your playing, your greatest accomplishments, a little bit about your background that you haven't touched on?
I never was a Bobby Hill or Chris Booker, and I say that sincerely because I didn't have the talent that you guys did. I played high school basketball. I played a year of junior college, and after my freshman year, I was in really good shape, and I was looking around. I was like, man, I'm in the middle of nowhere at some junior college that doesn't even exist anymore, and I said, I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. I'm doing well in school, but I'm not having fun. So I went back to University of Nebraska and I became a student manager. And it's humbling from going to play to holding a towel in a basketball like Corey, bless his heart, and Gus and some of those guys. It's hard being a player and going to manager, but Coach Nee said, if you do this and do it well, I'll move you up. And eventually I moved up to graduate assistant and video coordinator, and I kind of worked my way up. And along that route at Nebraska, we won. We won a lot. And the other thing is we had a lot of pro players, Eric Strickland, Eric Pikowski, Mikey Moore. I could go on, but Eric Strickland, who was my best friend, played for the Dallas Mavericks. And there's a little man on that team who used to use my car every single day, and that's Tyronn Lue. And we still actually, he was messing with me and stopped putting all that Cowboys crap up on Sunday because I was excited about the Dallas Cowboys. So, it goes back to Nebraska where it's still in my heart today with friends, NBA. And Teron will definitely be a NBA head coach again, coaching LeBron and them, the Cavs. I've never been at Duke or Kentucky. I've been at UL Lafayette, McNeese, North Texas, UT Rio Grande Valley, TCU, which are great schools, great places to be. And I'm very blessed to have done that because I wasn't a former player. And you see a lot of these staffs hire former big name players, which is fine. Being a head coach at Westwind Prep Academy, being a head coach in Europe was really cool. I don't have to be a head coach. I can be, but it's nothing that drives me. I'm a recruiter. I'm in my late 40s. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm blessed to still speak with guys like yourself. So just getting up every day, receiving text messages, receiving Zooms from you and players is kind of where God has put me in my life, and I hope to continue doing this another 10, 12 years. I tell everybody, I joke, unless T. Lou calls me, then I'm going to let y'all down and be sitting next to him eating popcorn now. But so basketball in itself, I think just being recruiting at the D1 level for so many years has been the ultimate goal. But I learned at the junior college and prep school level. And I do have pro experience winning championship with the Houston Rockets, Rio Grande Valley Vipers team, which is here where I live now. And then being a head coach in Europe, because I learned what it's to be a pro. And I took that back when I came back to college, that they don't scream, they don't yell at you. If you don't make the team, they ask you nicely to turn in the uniform and paperwork, and they let you go. And that's the real world. They're not going to yell at you when they fire you. They're going to say, Mr. Hill, thank you, we're letting you go. So I tell the guys that you have to learn now to be a professional in school, in the weight room and stuff, prepare for life, because out there it's a dog eat world. Yes, I know you guys want to go to the NBA. Heck, I'd like to too, but most of us aren't going to make it, 1% or less. So let's prepare ourselves for life. And that's one thing I think that all the blessings that God's put me in over these last 20 some years has helped me prepare to help be a good recruiter and keep helping signing good players to whatever God has in store for them. Hopefully I can be a mentor, a friend, and just like yourself, to have strong relationships that I can help and then keep growing across the country. So like I said, I've never been in Duke or Kentucky, those big schools, but that's okay. I've had a blessed, wonderful career, and hopefully I got another 10 years or so.
Oh yeah, man. I think it was great, man. I think, I think everybody should be able to connect and relate to a story where it's like humble beginnings. Tyler Junior College was actually one of the richest humble beginnings that I've ever seen. people because we were loaded almost every year. And it's like, you got to take a cut. And it's a lot of people, I think sometimes they look at it from, man, I gotta go to the lower entry level. I'm like, well, yeah, but you get that long term. Throughout the long term, it's gonna pay off. So I mean, I just really appreciate it, man. And the older I get, the more mature I get, the more I really appreciate TJC. I appreciate that a lot. I think that really catapulted me to where I am now. So, but let me ask, Coach, what made you choose the location where you're at now?
You think about, you applied for so many jobs when I was young, and I didn't get to go to those big schools. And every time, it's just like God's put me here for a reason. I used to question it, but now I don't. As I got older, um, I never thought about Tyler, Texas, my first location, but I knew Chris Crutchfield from my Nebraska days. So how did I get to Tyler? Well, out there, I knew Coach Doherty, so I got hired at TCU. So I'm in Fort Worth. Um, I went to Europe because somebody helped me. I came back. I went to Louisiana because I knew the coach there. We got let go. I was heading to another school, and Paul McKeskey, a former NBA player, was like, "Hey, man, we're starting to work for the Houston Rockets on this G League team." I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Man, come take a look." Interviewed with Houston. They said, "We're sending." I thought I was going, "Oh man, I'm going to Houston." I'm like, "No, you're going to McAllen, Texas." 10 years later, I'm still here, but I came down here because the Houston Rockets is located. Their G League teams down here. And McAllen, Texas is really nice. I'm an hour from South Padre Island. People's like, "Oh, you live in Mexico?" I was like, you know what? It is predominantly Hispanic, but it's wonderful. I walk outside, it's 90 degrees, there's palm trees. My little Latino brothers and sisters, they're just like us, man. They're fair skinned, but they're just like us. A lot of love down here. It's safe. I've been down here 10 years. It's safe. I met my wife, and my stepkids are down here. So truly blessed, truly blessed. I never thought I'd be in Edinburgh, Texas, but I live here and can't wait till things get back to normal, whatever the new normal is, so I get down to the beach and have some fun again when it's safe.
Coach, what's some? You've been in the game, so you've been in the game for a minute. So, what's some of the pitfalls you've seen coaches and some players? What's just what's some of those pitfalls?
Coaching college, I think they talk too much. They teach, they try to hover, they try to control every move. Or in the pros, I like the pros because I'm Stead or I'm Jay. I'm not coach. I don't let the players here call me coach. You can call me Stead. Um, to me, they put too much emphasis on that. So when they get in the real world, they're like hit with reality. Like, man, it's we can teach, but not just blanket them. And I think college coaches need to let off a little bit, not too much. Have the handcuffs off, but maybe unloosen one of the handcuffs and let them fall and pick them up. Now, there's a lot of liabilities. There's a lot of, "Oh, State, you can't be. This isn't the pros." Yeah, but we're not teaching them life lessons. We're smothering them so when they get there, they're not ready to handle the real world. Um, Players' mistakes, they want to go to the NBA. They think the NBA, 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 from JUCO to prep school to low D1, mid D1, they all want to go pro, pro, pro. And even the high majors at Texas and Baylor, they don't look at the big picture where let's get my degree. I'm going to travel the world. I may go to G League. I may go to Europe. I may not play at all. They don't have plan B, plan C, and they think they're a failure if they don't. I'm like, man, you're walking out of here with a college degree. You played. You have numbers. I'm not going to promise you a 10-year career. You might only play a month, a year, 2 years. You're still doing something that millions of people would love to wish they did what you just went through. And you'll realize it down the road. And all the connections and all the fun and all the time, live for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. But they're always looking at the NBA in the future and trying to help mom and dad. And help yourself today. Take what you have learned today, and let's see what happens tomorrow. So players are in a rush, and coaches are smothering. So sometimes and that's why you see 700, 800 transfers a year. I truly believe that.
No, and that's one of the bad things about it, man, because it's like um, if I don't like what I would like, if you don't do what I tell you to do, and I think that it reverses the hierarchy. It's like the coaches should be able to run the program, and you shouldn't have to cater outside of what's best for the team for one player. And I think it's crazy, man, because I know. Like last night, I was looking at Phil Jackson. I was actually learning. Phil accepted them and helped them grow. Whereas I'm gonna fit you into this box. No, I mean he knew how to handle each player and what each player needs to maximize it for their team. Everybody doesn't have.
That's very hard because think about how much AAU there was back in the day. I didn't go to AAU games. I went to high school games. I went to junior colleges. So now you have trainers, you have AAU guys, you have all these people controlling these kids at a young age to gonna be the next Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and them, and skip the process. So if this coach says, "Hey man, Stead gets the ball, and then I'm gonna give it to Bobby, and then I'm gonna give it to C Book, and then I'm gonna give it to Chops," they're gonna be like, "No, no, 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 Stead gets the ball. I'm coming here to score. I don't get the ball. Bye, Felicia." That's the problem we're running into. Instead of, hey, man, if we win, if we go and win the WAC championship, y'all average 10, 12 points. Everybody eats. Everybody gets a piece of the pie in Mexico State, and that's what we've turned into. Chicago Bulls. Everybody eats. Everybody wins. Everybody gets endorsements. Everybody gets scholarships. Everybody gets everything. If everybody has a piece of the pie. If one guy's sitting there eating it and the rest of us are watching, it doesn't work. It does not work. It's a team. There is, yes, there's a me and team, and there's an I and win. But at the end of the day, team together, everybody achieves more as we go together. That's got to be the key. But it starts, and I love AU guys, I love my workout guys, but I wish they put a little bit more team emphasis in, and then finding the best fit. If I'm Bobby Hill and I go to school and there's 3 Bobby Hills there, maybe I don't go to there. Maybe like uh, I go somewhere where I fit in a little bit better. Maybe there's only 2, or I know I can compete with one and be a good teammate to him. Instead, I got to be the man. Oh, I'm not the man. I'm out. That's the problem we run into nowadays.
Yeah, that's and I wish younger kids, man, middle school and on up really take advantage and really pay attention to what Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, he had one job, rebound or 2, rebound and defense, and he actually made a great living. He actually stopped falling on him doing things. Just know what you're good at and stick with that. Like that, your gift will make room for you.
Coach Hill always says here, if we have NBA scouts, or they always say, don't show me what you can't do. Show me what you can do. Show me what you're good at. If you shoot free throws, make all your free throws. If you're a rebounder, rebound. If you're a shooter, shooter. Don't do a crossover dribble if you can't dribble. Shoot, just shoot it. So I can pick you, I can play you, I can do this. Don't show me what you can't do. Just show me the one thing you can do. And that's okay. You don't have to be crossover and over and dunk on people. You're not going to do it all. Just show me the one thing you can do and be great at it. Be really great at it and accept that. Very few people can do that. Very few people. I tell my staff here, I'm not the best X's and O's and drawing plays up, but guess what? I'm gonna get you players. Now you guys teaching the footwork and stuff. Stead will get you the players, but that's being a team guy. And so when the other system's like, man, nah, Coach Crandall's a way better footwork stuff. Coach McKay, he's one of those numbers guys that statistics and all that. So I don't understand analytics, but a combination of let me get the guys and you teaching this stuff. So it kind of works hand in hand. That's a team. That's a winning team. That's what we do here.
That's good, man. I think that's great because everybody has their own domain, and it makes it really good. Where it's like I'm not good at what you do, but we complement it's compliment. You have a complementary coaching staff. What's a what's your day-to-day activities for a player and for a coach?
I get up, do my Bible study. I walk, take my dog for a walk, try to go 3 miles, walk about an hour, come back, and then I kind of have a plan. It's finals, so I got my academics right here. I make sure that my guys are in line with their academics. And then recruiting never stops. I start on one coast. It's obviously an hour ahead in New York. And so I start there and I kind of work my way backwards to the West Coast, the time zone. Just, guys are asleep. If I'm here at 7 or 8 in the morning, it's 5 or 6 a.m. there. So I always start, I go right to left, as I say it. Constant. Then I come back to academics again. So after I've done that, I go back and I look and see who's got what. Javon's got online at 11:30. This kid's got a quiz at 1. So I go back and I do that stuff again, and I go back to recruiting, and then meet with coach and see what coach wants to do. And then by the time you look at it, um, most of your day is over. I'm not really an X's and O's guys. I don't sit there and just watch film. I do enjoy basketball. I'm around basketball 24/7. I'm around basketball, you guys, the players, more than my family. So I got sick a few years ago, and I kind of took that for granted. So I enjoy going home if I got my work done, seeing my wife, my dogs, my stepkids, um, just being at home because I can be here 12 to 15 hours a day from 7 a.m. to 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, doing something. There's always something to do during the season. Obviously, practice will be entailed. Um, there would be workouts early in the morning. I'm a morning guy, so I'm not here anymore doing the late night workouts like I used to with Tyler. We lift weights and do all that stuff at night. But I'll do 6 a.m. like 6 a.m. Like, so I'll do early morning workouts and then travel. I mean, recruiting, we don't have the biggest budget, but so I may have to drive from down here to Tyler. That's 9 hours or 8 hours. So I got another Apache this year. I got Malik Anderson's coming. So I always go back to where I started. So, but we don't fly. So I got to drive. So I may have to drive up there, but I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone with my guys, making sure they're up, get to class, this and that. Then I start on the East Coast and I work my way back across the country. I just call people, former players. You guys hit me up. Hey, how you doing, Stead? What's going on? So it's just constant family, academics, recruiting, family, God, just constant throughout my day. I'm truly blessed that I have wonderful days because I know people that say, what'd you do there? I didn't do anything. Like, you didn't do anything. I was like, I can tell, and I don't brag. I have over 4,000 people in my phone, and it's like, oh, I don't even know, and Facebook, but it's God has put those people in my lives because of basketball. I've traveled the world because of basketball. There's an orange thing got me a degree. Travel the world. It's got me wonderful jobs, wonderful people like yourselves. So I'm truly blessed, and I don't take it for granted. Now I'm in my late 40s, so it's a little different when I was in Dallas or younger, but I'm really, truly blessed, and I take every day like it could be my last. I really do.
I think that's a great approach. I think that's a great approach, coach. So as far as on the players, what are they day-to-day activities?
Most of the players, younger generation, like to stay up all night on Twitter or video games. I have a good group. They're not at the nightclubs or nothing silly like that. I'm not saying they don't go out every now and then, but so I got to get them up for the morning. They get up. We have weights at 8 a.m., which they don't like, but I love it. That means they have to go to bed. So we have weights in the morning. Then we have class right away. So then they shower and go to class and then come back for study hall. Most of them go to study hall. And then then we have practice. Because I said, it's hard to go to, some of them go to study hall after practice, but I'd rather them get their little hour or a little hour and a half done early. So from 8 to 8, I have them busy. Weights, class, study hall, practice, and then more study hall. And then we may have a community, something out in the community, the Boys and Girls Club, or going to a children's hospital. And we're in a WAC conference where we have travel from here to Seattle, here to Chicago, here to Kansas City, here to LA, here to Phoenix. So we leave Wednesday. We don't get back till Sunday because we play Thursday, Saturday. So we'll leave Wednesday, practice at 6 a.m., get on a flight, fly to Seattle, get there, watch film. It's 8, 9 o'clock West Coast time already. Then we'll play Thursday, get up Friday morning, fly to the next city, which I love the WAC because we're in cities. It's kind of like the NBA almost. But we do study hall on the road as far as travel. I mean, you've been Division I player, you know how it is. So their schedule big, and it's funny because, and we have a group chat on the phone, and I text them, hey, and the other coaches do, we have this, this, and this. And when you're done playing, when that text stops, when there's nobody waking you up and there's nobody fussing at you, then you hit the real world. But then that's when, did Stead do a good job preparing you for life? And that's the one thing I always think about. They say, thank you, Stead. You told me this is going to happen, or you said it's a business. Don't make it personal. It's always a business because we're looking at you as a business. Look at us as a business because that's how life is.
I think there, and it's a good bridge between high school and whatever you choose as a profession because it's business. We cool. We cool personally. We got this is a business arrangement. So I think that's great, man. So, coach, and you touched on a little bit. So, how do you keep that family, that work life balance?
I didn't get married till I was 40. I did that for a reason. I was blessed to get coaching opportunities. And to be honest, if you're young, you're black, you're single, you're hireable. And I don't care how they say it. I think in the business world too, um, I can hire this young guy. He's single. I can send him to drive to Tyler and back. He'll do it. I don't have a family. I don't have to answer anybody but myself. Sometimes I slept in a car. Sometimes, you just do wild things as you're single as you wouldn't with the family and children. So I see it. I'm not saying guys that got married and have children didn't, but one of our coaches here has young kids, and I see the strain when he's missed. We're on a road 5 days a week during the season. I didn't miss that. I have stepkids. I do have an older daughter, but he comes back. We always laugh. He says his son, I think, is 4 or 5, and he's like, "I'm gonna get back. My son is shaving, or one of his daughters, 11 or 12 years old. We're gonna get back, and her husband's gonna pick me up from the airport because we're gone so much." And I always thought back to the Washington pro football team. I can't think. Joe Gibbs was always talking about. He's a NASCAR owner now, but when he was in the NFL, he missed his children growing up because all he did was worry about Washington and helping them beat the Cowboys and the Giants and all that. But I always thought about that, like, man, I don't want to put anybody through that. So I did it on purpose. I did not, until God blessed me with a wonderful wife, I didn't do the family thing, which hurts because you like to have little Bobbies, growing up and being, but I wouldn't have been there. My whole day from 7 a.m. to 7 at night or longer is with you guys, with the players. Well, you are my sons, you are my adopted children, which is fine, but I wouldn't have had time for that, and I didn't want to do that. I just chose personally not to do it. So it's tough, and I see it with other guys. Now, some guys do it, but you're going to miss a lot. You're going to miss a lot if you chose to do this.
It's a sacrifice. When you talk about players, because when we were coming up, social media was not an issue. So how do you let's touch on that?
10 years ago, when I was at the Rio Grande Valley Vipers of the G League, the first thing Houston had me do is I had a list of 200 people they gave me in August. And this was 10 years ago. So a little bit of MySpace, mainly Facebook. I don't know if Twitter came out, but I had to call the schools and I had to get background. Then I went online and I looked on their social media accounts. They wanted me to go back a year, if not 2 years. I had 200 people I had to go through. Man, some of them took forever. I had to scroll through, see if they used the N-word, see if they cursed, see if they were reposting booty pictures. And I had to write down if they did, because this was players that were Houston Rockets were going to look at, that whether they're good enough to be on a G League team and maybe get called up to NBA. And this is 10 years ago. So I tell my guys now, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're using the N-word, if you're doing explicit materials and booty shots of women and stuff you shouldn't, take it down. I told one of our players that's leaving right now, I told his mom, take it down, because the NBA and even they're paying you a lot of money so they can see through their eyes what you're doing through those eyes. And I'm telling you, it'll hurt you, because I used to do it for a living. So they have more Instagram and Twitter, and I don't even know all the stuff they have. I don't have a lot of that stuff. It will hurt you if you have explicit, racial, or anything bad on there. I'm not saying if you're a lottery pick, but for everybody else, don't do that. And even in the workplace, I know top companies are looking at, what type of person am I hiring? Are you going to come in looking sloppy and not present yourself in a suit and tie or look nice, shave, and or are you going to be on social media swearing and using racial names and women and stuff like that? That's not who we're going to hire, because you're not going to change. That's what you're doing in your time. That's your time. Well, my time I'm paying you, you may slip up one day and do it. And that's what Houston said. We're not paying for that. So that was 10 years ago. So I'm sure it's even worse now. It's So you got to watch that, young people. You really got to watch it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because that's your I guess that's some people's internet resume, who you are as a person. That's an inner look of who you are as a person. So it's crazy. But what benefits? I know AAU has skyrocketed from when I was playing. So what is how do you select? Do you use AAU, or what's some of the things you like? That's a play I want.
Uh, I've shifted over the years. It used to be high school, it used to be AU. I've shifted now because I need to catch New Mexico State. New Mexico State is bigger, stronger, faster, and I saw how they built their program through transfers. Fifth-year transfers, Division I transfers, then junior college. So I'm going backwards. I used to go the other way. Now I go backwards. So I start at fifth-year transfers, guys that need a year. They played at another school. They're bigger, stronger, better, grown men. They've been through wars. They've been through D1 practices. They've been disciplined. They understand. Then a D1 player that's hopefully at a higher level than UT Rio Grande Valley, Baylor, Texas, somewhere like that. That's more talented than what I have, but didn't get to play there, where you come down here, you're going to start. And then junior college. I played junior college. I coached junior college. I love junior college. So they've been there a year. They've been there 2 years. They're bigger, stronger. And then high school, prep school, AU. And you see how I went backwards, because as talented as you are coming out of John Tyler, as if you went to prep school, you said you should have redshirted your freshman year. So if I recruit you to UT Rio Grande Valley, because you're a good size, just think if you would have waited, and by the time you're a junior, a redshirt junior, you're a monster, and you graduated, guess what? Now Baylor and Texas are calling you, because now you're bigger, stronger. You got your degree. You're a man. I need a man to help me win a championship. So it's kind of flipped the other way. And I hate, because, hey, you guys are Steadman. How come you don't recruit my guys? They're good. They're good. But if I get a grown Bobby Hill, they're going to whoop up on your little high school dude you're trying to sell me. So it's not personal. So, and the top AAU guys in high school are still going to want to go to the bigger schools. And that's fine. I'm going to go get a transfer, and then I'm just going to go opposite of them. So my bigger, stronger transfers versus your high school. And we did that. We lost the University of Houston by 3 points when they were ranked number 10 in the country. We lost to Texas Tech this year by 10. They hit a 3 at the end. It could have been 7 points. With their top high school players, with my grown men. So we're getting closer because of grad transfers and transfers and JUCO players.
Wow. And it's like, I didn't really even think about it. I guess if I could say anything that's like that, it's kind of like how the NBA 20 years ago from how it is now. In 20 years ago, the Patrick Ewings, the Team Olajuwon, everything was about the middle. And nothing was, the outside really wasn't that important. But now everything switches, like, bam, the outside is important. We can get rid of the middle. So it's interesting. And that strengthens our point of being JUCO. Because my thing about it, that's going to give you your basis academically, and it's going to mature you to that. So I mean, because I remember now, I was coming to TJC, I was like 18 years old, and I was playing against 21-year-old men. I played Jeremy Day. I had L.O. Lamar. I'm fighting against grown men.
Yeah. Yep. And it's hard. Okay, what you do? You've never taken a test, and you've never written a research paper in college. You've never played against Jeremy Day, who started at University of Colorado, Lamar Hill, who went on to Dayton. I mean, these are really good stuff. Emmanuel McElroy. I mean, these are grown men that have been there 2 years, bigger, stronger, faster. That's the recipe I use. Same in football. Bigger, stronger. That's why most people redshirt freshmen in football. That should be the same thing in basketball. Because if you're not making shots, you're going to get beat up. You won't be able to guard such and such. It's not your fault. Your just body's not ready for it. And there's other things: time management, getting up for weights, not having a curfew, girls, distractions, other things. So you need time to grow up and learn to balance out your life to be successful.
That's what's up. So, Coach, man, do you have? I'm sure you have other ambitions. Do you, outside of? Do you have any goals going to major D1s, or what's your thoughts on that? If God provides that opportunity for you.
I would, only two things at this point in my life I would like to do that I'm open and honest with everybody. I'd like to return to the University of Nebraska where I started. I'm an idiot. I turned down a chance to go home years ago when I was at TCU. I should have gone. And then to be on the bench with Tyronn Lue in the NBA. God willing, those things will happen. And if not, I'm blessed. I got a wonderful boss. I have a wonderful family, and I'm here and I have a job and I'm healthy. So I'm good. I mean that I'm good.
I mean, I think, yeah, Coach, I'm happy to see when I saw Crutch, at Arkansas and Yard. I'm like, man, I get excited about it because I'm like, man, I remember.
Oh, my side hurt.
It was, man.
That's but people out there, I don't know if you're gonna edit this or whatever. That's the love that Bobby and I share, and I mean it sincerely. That you grow, and I'm in my late 40s, but when you were 18, I was 27 or 28 at the time, and the lifelong relationships and the little funny stuff we can do 20 years ago, we still do today. We die laughing. That's what life's about, and that's what people don't take the time to smell the roses. It's basketball, but it's relationships. Whether I get to NBA or not, I hope and pray. But just us laughing there about something happened 20 years ago, it's just wonderful. I mean, I love you, dude.
It was just like, man, we trip out, and it's like, man, I mean, Tyler was and still is a special place, man.
For life, yeah.
It's a special place, man. Yeah, and I think the more we get mature, the more you value. Your values change.
Yeah, yeah.
Your values.
I didn't walk with the Lord as much as I should have. I went to church. I was partying. I was in the club. I was single. A lot more hair, a lot skinnier. So the temptation, all that stuff is there while I'm trying to do the job now. It's easy for me to do my job now in my 40s. I'm home and I study the word and stuff like that. But even back then, you're covered in grace and favor for the blessings that came 20 years later. So lucky and blessed and fortunate. I truly am. I'm truly, it started with TJC, and I'll never forget it. I post stuff, I recruit there. I love Tyler. I really do.
Yes, sir. Man, Coach, I greatly appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
We're gonna put it on our page. Yeah, I just appreciate it, man. I appreciate our relationship, man. I really do. So anytime
One of my favorites. I love you. I mean, I don't say that just to say it. You're one of my favorites. I truly believe in you. I'll always be here till the day I die. I mean that, you fam. I mean that.
For sure. I appreciate it, Coach. Love you too, man. Like I said, man, it's just like it's strong, man. Just to see, transition from a young man to a grown man, and just keep our and I appreciate you for when you say how I'm in town. I appreciate that. I try to clear my schedule so I can say, man, I just want to hang out with it and just kind of.
I think we're at UTA next year, so I'll be bugging you again and come watch us play and support us. All right. I got to run, man. It's been great. Love your fam and stay in touch. Okay.
All right, Coach. Take care.
All right.